What if the guilt you carry is not truly yours, but the echo of generations that came before you? Imagine for a moment that the heaviness on your chest is not punishment, but inheritance, like an old cloak passed down without your consent. Tonight, I invite you to listen with your heart open, because what you are about to hear is not just a prayer, but a path, a way to break cycles that have chained souls for centuries. This is not theory, it is a lived truth, a whisper from eternity reminding you that pain is not the final chapter of your story. There was once a woman who came to me and said, "I am tired of being strong." Her words trembled, but her eyes held oceans of stories untold. Perhaps you have felt the same, carrying invisible battles that no one applauds. This prayer is for the women who have fought silently, who have cried in locked bathrooms, who have smiled while breaking inside. This is not about denying your strength, but about finding the river of peace that flows deeper than your wounds. For every thorn you carried, there is a rose blooming unseen. Carrying shame is like trying to make a garden flourish with roots trapped in concrete. No matter how much water you pour, growth feels impossible. But concrete cracks when exposed to time, pressure, and the relentless insistence of life. The same spirit that breathed light into chaos longs to break through your hardened places. Do you feel that stirring inside? It is not weakness. It is the divine invitation calling you to release, to surrender, to trust that beyond the cracks, there is soil waiting to hold your roots again. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." But what happens when your reactions are carved by trauma, by old wounds that seem to dictate your present? This prayer is not about pretending the storm never happened. It is about learning that the storm does not define you. Like a tree bending in wind, you may sway, but you will not break. Your roots, hidden beneath the soil of faith, are stronger than the tempest that surrounds you. Breathe deeply now, for even your breath is a prayer. Each inhale is a testimony that life is not finished with you yet. Each exhale is an invitation to let go of bitterness, regret, and shame. Imagine your breath as waves on a shore, washing away the old stories you've told yourself. Can you feel that rhythm? That is the rhythm of divine mercy. Tonight, we pray not to erase the past, but to rewrite the meaning of it, transforming scars into sacred marks of survival. The Bible whispers, "He makes all things new." Not some things. All things. That means even the chapters you wish to tear out of your life are being rewritten into redemption. Have you ever wondered why brokenness feels holy at times? Because cracks let the light in. Pain is not a punishment. Sometimes it is the doorway to your highest calling. Can you trust that the God who split seas and raised the dead can also lift the weight from your heart tonight? Let me ask you, how long have you been carrying a burden that was never meant to be yours? The unspoken expectations of family, the relentless cycle of proving your worth, the silence of wounds passed down like heirlooms. What if tonight you placed that inheritance at the feet of the divine and chose to walk away lighter? There is a freedom that comes not from striving, but from surrender. This prayer is your key, your exodus, your release into the wide open arms of peace. Brené Brown teaches us that vulnerability is not weakness, but courage in its purest form. To kneel, to cry, to whisper "I need help" is not failure. It is bravery that shakes the heavens. Tonight, I invite you to be courageous in a way the world rarely understands, by opening your wounds before the one who heals. The prayer we walk through together is not polished, not rehearsed. It is raw, real, and sacred. It is your soul saying, "Enough. Tonight, I choose peace." Close your eyes and see yourself standing by an ocean. The waves are fierce, the wind loud, but in the distance, you notice the horizon glowing with light. That horizon is hope. That horizon is God's promise. Every wave that once threatened to drown you now carries you closer to the shore of your freedom. And as you step into this prayer, imagine the salt water cleansing every chain, every curse, every cycle of pain that has clung to your bloodline for too long. The silence of night often reveals truths the daylight hides. Have you noticed that your deepest aches visit you in the quiet hours? That is not coincidence, it is invitation. Tonight, in this sacred silence, we turn that ache into prayer. We transform loneliness into conversation with the one who has never left your side. For he said, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." Even in your lowest valley, you are never abandoned. Your tears are not wasted, they are collected in hands that never drop them. When shadows creep across your mind, whispering lies that you are not enough, remember that shadows exist only because light is present. You are not defined by the absence of clarity, but by the certainty that the sun still shines beyond the clouds. Carl Jung once reminded us that one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Tonight, this prayer turns your hidden shadows into stepping stones, teaching you that even darkness can guide you home. I see you, weary soul, standing at the intersection of what was and what could be. Perhaps the disappointments of yesterday echo louder than the promises of tomorrow. Yet the Creator of the universe has always chosen unlikely vessels, barren wombs, stuttering prophets, broken fishermen, to demonstrate divine strength. Why should your life be any different? This prayer is your reminder that weakness is not disqualification, but the very place where grace chooses to dwell. Think of your heart as a garden. Some seeds were planted by love, others by pain. Some by your own choices, others by circumstances beyond your control. But tonight, with each word of this prayer, you are replanting. You are pulling weeds of guilt, watering seeds of hope, and allowing sunlight to touch places that have been hidden too long. And though you cannot force growth overnight, remember this: the soil of surrender always produces a harvest of peace. Have you noticed how rivers carve valleys not through force, but through persistence? Your healing may not come in a sudden burst, but in steady streams that wear down the rocks of pain. Joyce Meyer often says that patience is proof of trust. As you pray, do not measure progress by immediate relief, but by the gentle transformation of your spirit day after day. Healing is not the absence of scars. It is the presence of peace even while scars remain. Let us pause now. Breathe deeply and ask yourself, what am I still clinging to that no longer serves me? Sometimes it is not the wound, but the grip on the wound that prolongs the pain. Release it. Picture yourself unclenching your fists, letting sand fall freely through your fingers. That sand represents old narratives, broken identities, and false responsibilities. Tonight, you lay them down so your hands may finally be open to receive divine peace. Scripture tells us that the truth shall set you free. But truth is not always easy to hear. It often comes dressed as conviction, reflection, even disruption. This prayer is not about comfort alone, but about awakening. For freedom requires confrontation, not with others, but with the lies you have agreed to live by. Tonight, may every lie dissolve, may every false label burn away, and may the truth of who you are, beloved, chosen, whole, rise louder than the noise. You may feel unworthy of peace because of past mistakes. But let me remind you, guilt is a chain forged by memory, while grace is the key handed to you freely. Which will you hold? Tonight, as these words wrap around your spirit, choose the key. Choose release. Choose to step out of the prison you built for yourself. Remember, Even Paul sang songs of freedom while chained in a cell. What excuse remains for you to stay bound when heaven is already singing over you? Lisa Nichols often reminds us that your story is not for you, it's for someone else. The very pain you're desperate to erase may become the torch that lights another woman's path. Could it be that the reason you survived what should have destroyed you is because your healing will become another's hope? Tonight, this prayer is not only about your peace but about awakening the ripple effect of your transformation. As you are healed, countless others will find courage to rise. Now imagine standing at the foot of a mountain. It looks impossible to climb. Your body trembles with fatigue. But as you lift your eyes, you realize you were never meant to climb it alone. The hand of God extends toward you, steady and strong. With each step of prayer, He carries what you cannot. And suddenly, what seemed like a mountain becomes a sacred journey, proving that His strength is perfected in your weakness. The cycles of pain in families often feel like chains passed down generation to generation. But chains, no matter how ancient, shatter when exposed to divine fire. Tonight, we declare, the curses end here. The silence ends here. The hidden shame ends here. This is not just your healing, it is generational healing. Your daughters and granddaughters will walk lighter because you chose to pray tonight. The story of pain that echoed for centuries finds its exclamation mark in your surrender. As the night deepens, so does your awareness of the presence surrounding you. You are not just hearing words, you are sitting in a sacred exchange. Heaven bends closer when broken hearts open wider. Can you sense it? This stillness is holy. This quiet is not emptiness but fullness, not absence but presence. Tonight, the same Spirit that hovered over the waters hovers over you, whispering, "Peace, be still." There is a melody in silence, a hymn only the healed can hear. Like the soft strum of a harp, it rises when you finally release control. Do you feel the song beginning in your chest? It is the anthem of liberation, written not by human hands but by eternity. Your life is being tuned like an instrument, every broken string replaced, every note realigned to play the harmony of heaven. That is what prayer does. It turns chaos into symphony. The tears that fall tonight are not weakness. They are baptism. Each one washing away residue of shame, softening soil hardened by disappointment, watering seeds that will grow into joy. Do not hold them back. Let them flow as freely as rivers that rush into the ocean. In their falling, there is rising. In their release, there is renewal. For He collects every tear and transforms it into testimony. Picture yourself walking through a door. Behind you is the room of old pain, the walls covered with echoes of betrayal, the floor stained with memories of loss. But before you is a room flooded with light, filled with peace that does not waver. Tonight, through prayer, you close the old door and step fully into the new. And though voices may call from behind, you do not turn back. For the future waiting before you is greater than the sorrow left behind. Billy Graham once said, "The will of God will not take us where the grace of God cannot sustain us." If you are here, still breathing, still listening, then grace has already proven stronger than despair. This moment is evidence that you are not forgotten, that heaven has already written peace into your future. What remains is your choice to believe it. Tonight, through this prayer, belief takes root and blossoms into unshakable peace. The cycles of anxiety, self-doubt, and shame end when you stop rehearsing them like old songs. Tonight, I invite you to delete the playlist of pain and press play on the symphony of peace. Imagine each word of prayer like a new note, forming a melody that fills every corner of your soul. Do you hear it? That is the sound of freedom. That is the music of healing. And it is playing just for you. When the sun rises tomorrow, you will not wake the same. Something in you shifts tonight, not because your circumstances change instantly, but because your spirit remembers its power. Like dawn breaking through the horizon, peace enters slowly, steadily, until the whole sky of your soul glows with new light. And in that light, you will see yourself differently, no longer victim but vessel, no longer captive, but chosen. Tonight, heaven has whispered your name. The prayer that leaves your lips does not vanish into air, it echoes in eternity. You are heard. You are seen. You are loved with a love that has no expiration. And as you rest in that truth, cycles that once bound you unravel quietly, effortlessly. You walk lighter, you breathe freer, you dream wider. For peace has found its home in you. And so, beloved soul, this is not the end of your story, but the beginning of your freedom. Carry this prayer with you, not as words alone, but as rhythm, as breath, as heartbeat. When shame tries to return, let this prayer answer. When fear knocks, let peace respond. And when doubt whispers, let faith declare, the cycle is broken, and I am free. This is your inheritance. This is your promise. This is your peace. Now, if you have received this message in your heart and feel that it resonated deeply with you, please confirm the receipt of this divine energy by leaving the number 333 in the comments below. This number symbolizes the constant presence of the angels around you, and by confirming it, you will be signaling your openness to continue this journey of transformation. Also, if you are not yet part of our community, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell. This way, you will be up to date with all the upcoming messages from the angels that we will bring especially for you. Don't miss the next video, where we will bring more inspiration, love, and divine wisdom to guide your path. May the peace and light of the angels be with you every step of your journey. Stay tuned, because the best is yet to come. Until the next video, and may the angels continue to bless your life with love and light.